what I wanted to say is, just in case people are listening to this and go, wait a minute, how can these circles heal you? Let me explain it to you. I just want you to either confirm or disagree with me. So obviously the stone circles are now amplifying the good frequencies of the earth, starting maybe with the Schumann resonance, and but then also all the harmonic fractals thereof, right? Because it's coming through the walls. So it's there's going to be many frequencies, and the moment you come close to that stone circle, and whether you know it or not, it starts to vibrate all the trillions of cells in your body with the good frequencies of the earth. So if there are cells in your body that are in dissonance or in disease, they're going to start vibrating with the right frequencies, and that starts the healing. And this is what we discovered in the different stone circles seem to have a different effect on different parts of your body. Some stone circles are good for your heart, some are good for your stomach or your intestine, some are good for your blood cells, and others are good for your DNA. And we did some very deep shamanic. A good friend, Shaman Eagleheart from Australia, John Paul Eagleheart, who is an absolutely like the most mind-blowing shaman I've ever met, and we've done many journeys together. He connects with the guardians of all these sites, and he literally starts to tell you as you approach it. He says, "Oh yeah, no," and he starts to tell you about the site and what it's good for, and etc. So we sort of mapped all these stone circles from measuring with basic measuring tools.
That's what I think we'd like to help you, is that supposing you wanted to have this conversation with a biophysicist. A biologist language for what you just said, if I may humbly suggest, is that harmonic inclusiveness predicts vitality. In other words, medically, the fastest way to predict how long anything is going to live, especially you or your heart, the fastest way to measure immune health and how long you're going to live is simple. You take the heart harmonics called HRV and check if they're harmonic inclusive, which is the more harmonics present. Whereas if there's only one harmonic in your heart and all of the others are gone, you're going to be dead within a day. Yeah. But if there's an inclusive fractal complete array of harmonics, it's called the healthy heart is a fractal heart. Now, if you take that physics, you can tell how long an atom, a baby, or a galaxy is going to live with the same physics called harmonic inclusiveness, and how long a stone circle is going to live. Now, just to mention that when you measure those harmonics, what you find out is the only possible way to have harmonic inclusiveness is the fractality perfected named golden ratio, because all other ratios are going to kill each other as wave mechanics.
Yes.
So in fact, either it's golden ratio, harmonic inclusive and implosive, or it's self-canceling. Yeah. So that's why when you measure brainwave harmonics before bliss or teleportation, you get that golden ratio, beautiful implosive cascade. And you could do that so easily in your stone circles with our little toys.
Well, I tell you what, I can't wait to do that. When we finish this conversation, I'm going to be very excited, looking forward to tapping into your special gadgets and tools that you so generously offer.
It's flameandmind.com. So flameandmind.com is the software. It's Flame and Mind. It's iOS. It's Apple software, iPad, iPhone. And we're going to help you get it. It's like $200, but we'll give it to you. And then the hardware device is called the Muse 2 headset, brainwave. It's about $200. And this is a present to you. And the point is that then we help you take that to your sacred sites, and we will compare notes when you measure the harmonics, because now you can actually do the tuning and you can have these conversations with scientists with solid data showing why and how these sites did the healing, because they got implosive.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. We've done so many different tests and measurements over the years. I mean, I've been doing this for nearly 17 years now. So you forget
Sam was doing the same thing. Sam had 1 million people a year come there, and a lot of them get healed, and we just wanted to measure how the healing was created. And basically, it's the same as we've got a dozen technologies that do this up. Firay.com, piezofire.com, Mysterify.net, and plasmafire.com. And these devices all do the same thing. They just amplify this cascade over broader and broader spectra. We phase conjugate optically, acoustically, phonon, etc. And we take that same harmonic cascade and you put binaural bliss in the ears, and you have the world's most powerful bliss-inducing sound called bliss binaurals, which, by the way, can be created by the right stone circle.
Yeah. So here's an interesting thing.
The pyramid was called the Hummer for that reason. It's a hum.
Called a what?
The pyramid, if you read 2/3, the Arcturian version, the pyramids were called the Hummer. And the reason they would hum was because they were tuned to the Schumann cascade, which was causing the implosive pump wave, which then dumps out the coherent longitudinal, which is the media of global wireless power. And the famous mercury in those pyramids, we know what it was doing there, the same as the mercury in the Vimana Nazi bell. It was a lens to focus the longitudinal. So you get a mercury vortex, the Vimana, for example, and you direct the longitudinal out the center, and that's how they made gravity.
That's why I wanted to have this conversation with you, to explain this kind of detail.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. I love your enthusiasm and your background. So there was other parts of this you wanted to talk about, were there, or do you have more toys there?
Well, I've got a few more things I want to share with you, and then I'm going to sort of hand it over to you regarding the etc. But so we get all these millions of stone circles, and they're all connected to each other, so they create a giant grid. They're all generating huge amounts of energy. Of a few thousand, I would say, because I've found a few hundred of them, or are shaped like magnetrons. Okay, so it's very obvious. And this is just one example of many, many, many other examples of magnetron-shaped stone circles. So it seems like they were generating energy, but they may not have been generating enough. So they built these magnetrons as like a booster or something, right? To boost energy into this entire giant grid.
Yes.
Now,
exactly.
Would you agree with that?
That's exactly Enki Thoth's skill. That's what Thoth was called, the alchemist. He was the engineer, specifically specialized in doing that. His real name was Ningishita Viracocha Ishka, originally, when they came from the Anuna Empire. And his skill, which was called the caduceus or the emerald tablets, was how to focus and lens that life force. And the way we prove that is we actually measure the frequencies of the generated microwave and show how it was pumped through the grid and stabilized at the longitudinal nodes. So not only is military quality telepathy only available at the longitudinal nodes where the stone circles were, but also the global wireless power was available there, and reduced critical mass was available there, and all of your sacred technologies, whether the labyrinths or cathedrals or Agnihotra or plasma healing devices, the picture of the plasma tubes on the pyramid walls to make them young again, all of those devices all work better at those nodes. And just to finish the thought, Michael, that once you understand the physics of how the longitudinal nodes enable this life-giving rejuvenation, you understand more things inherently, which is, for example, at those same nodes and sacred sites, you will get more of this effect at sunrise or sunset.
Yes.
You get more of this effect at equinox and solstice, and you get more of this effect at galactic alignment, the physics of astrology. And the reason for that is sunrise and sunset are four-wave mixing, the sacred four directions, which is how phase conjugation was invented. So in fact, it enables you to embed more efficiently in that array. So now you know a lot more about how eventually this becomes stargates and time reversal and the advanced physics. So once you understand what I call coherent longitudinal interferometry of these sacred sites, instead of being woo-woo mythology, this is all measurable and teachable in physics classes. And that's where I'm at.
Yeah, and absolutely. Look, I have so much research that I've done since I started here, and so many measurements and coincidences. And I'm not even going to talk about the fossils and all the stuff that's in the museum. I'm just talking about the basic ancient technology in the form of stone tools and artifacts. But one of the great examples. So we've already, shown the magnetrons, the fact that they were boosting the energy into the stone circle giant energy grid. So the question has always been, well, why did they build the stone circles? What did they need all this energy for? And what's fascinating is that the penny only dropped for me in 2020 when I started to fly my own drone. I learned finally how to fly it. And I flew my drone so I could focus on the things I wanted to look at and not what other people, would flying drones and send me the videos. I could then stop and look at things. And I suddenly discovered, oh my goodness, the stone circles and the terraces and the channels that connect them have been washed away by the rivers, which means the stone circles and terraces are older than the rivers that have formed.